Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to the show. I am about to go on vacation in T-minus 8 hours, and I'm freaking out. I should be relaxed. This should be the just best time. I should be super excited for this, but I'm scared, I'm nervous, because I'm leaving my business behind for about 10 days. Of course, last night, as I'm bringing this thing home, I notice all my transmission fluid is gone. If you follow the channel, you know this second gen is actually our backup truck, and this is our backup trailer. But here's the deal. If I leave town for a week and Keegan has trouble, my driver, in his main rig, he has no backup. So of course, I need to kind of do my best to get this thing running and doing well, so he has a fallback option. That's only one thing I need to take care of today in order to make sure that everything goes smooth while I'm gone. So stay tuned. Let's see what this day turns into, because it could be an absolute mess. Right now we are over at the triplex remodel, and I'm dropping off some matching paint for the walls. You guys have probably already seen this property if you watch, because I've shown it way too many times because the project's taken way too long. But between my time and the contractor's time, this place is really coming together. Some of you may think, wow, that place needs a lot of work. Well, you should have seen what it looked like before. This is really starting to look nice. I'm loving it. This is the room in question. We had a really nasty drop ceiling here. Looks like they got it all drywalled. It's coming together really good. He said it has a couple more things to be sanded, and then they just need to paint it. Also, I'm gonna slide the contractor a check for all the work he's done so far. And I'm trying to get better at that. I'm trying to get better at paying people to help me rather than me always try to take care of stuff myself. Because at the end of the day, if I went on this vacation and this thing didn't have any more progress to it because I'm gone, it's just that much longer that it's gonna be until I can rent it, which means it's that much less money over time. Now let's get the last of these parts so we can get this truck going. That's the most expensive straw I've ever bought. All right, between the Dodge dealership and O'Reilly's, I ended up sourcing all 3 transmission cooler lines, a little bit more ATF4, and we might look at something else on the truck while we're at it. So I got myself changed. We're gonna go over here and start to get to work. I originally was actually gonna drive this out to the shop, but I just kind of realized that's not in my best interest. The idea of possibly just completely losing one of the lines entirely, driving it out there with a little bit of a load on, I don't think it's a good idea. So basically what we're dealing with is one of these lines is just slightly cracked, and when the truck is in gear, and especially when it's under load, all that pressure is literally just spraying all the transmission fluid out of those lines right onto the exhaust, which is what I could smell, and it's obviously losing transmission fluid at a pretty decent clip. So pretty quick, we already got one replaced, got it all drained out underneath. There's 1 or 2 more, and look who stopped by. My savior every time. If you follow the channel, you've seen Trevor before. He always kind of seems to come to my rescue on maintenance things. Luckily, Trevor actually has Thursday, Friday, Saturday off, so I don't know what it is, but something about the days that something breaks seem to fall on those days, because he has kind of saved our butt a couple times. It was like rubbing together.
See that fine line right in the middle?
It's getting so close.
It was ready to break.
It was ready to go. It's always something. Trevor, you want to give him a rundown? We've got those aluminum lines lined up, but what do we have happening now?
We got bad hose.
Oh, yeah, we do. We tried to put those aluminum lines in there.
Pulled the guts out.
And the guts basically fell out on this. You would think that little tiny piece right there was so easy to get, but no. We have been to every parts store and every farm store, and nobody has them in stock. All right, that sucked. Parts stores failed us once again. We are one part away from having this thing back together. It's a simple little fitting that broke. Couldn't find it, but we will have it tomorrow in the AM. The only problem is I won't be here. First said he might, and he said if he gets the chance, he'll come by, slap that on, fill it up with fluid. That truck should be back up and running, which will be a backup to Keegan running. Keegan, how's your day, dude?
That guy just yelled at me and I picked it up.
Did he really?
No.
It's a long story, but basically we did a drop off today and then the dude canceled after the drop off and made a big ordeal about something that he then recognized later was not our fault. So there's always something, but of course it was outside of the area and Keegan had to waste a lot of time today literally just driving, but whatever. Right now we're pulling together everything we need to make sure Keegan has a decent week. We're gonna get some batteries charged for some of the tools, make sure the air compressor was hooked up, that we could get power to the truck. And we're also gonna get some tires on the truck and the trailer. That way he is free and clear of most issues that we might run into while I'm gone. All right, just a couple basics we wanna make sure he has in the truck at all times. It's time to hit the road. We made it. I am hiding out right now in Hawaii. A dream vacation, something that me and my wife have always wanted to do. But with that, I've had to leave my business behind. This is something some of you guys have asked about if you follow the channel, like how do you continue to run your business while you're gone? It's not easy. I've done it actually in the past once and I was gone for an entire month. It was actually very early in Keegan's driving. It was actually his first full month as my driver. Things have obviously changed since then and business is busy. So I can't just kind of leave him hanging like that. Before we could kind of do everything via phone call and I could kind of give him some simple direction to get stuff done, but we're way too busy for that kind of stuff now. So this will be pretty challenging. There's a 4 to 5 hour difference between where I am and where Keegan is, and we're gonna have to try to run the business. I'll probably be up about 4 a.m. to check to make sure he's getting started okay and that his route is planned accordingly. But after that, it's kind of all up to him. I've been talking about him a lot lately, but if you're in the dumpster space, you've heard me talk about Docket, and we're definitely gonna be putting that software to the test this week. Just on the flight here, it's been worth it because I had a few bookings come in while I was on a plane. Obviously didn't have any cell phone service, so those got on the schedule for this coming Monday. Monday's gonna be, a test in itself right away. Several bookings that Keegan's gonna have to take care of himself, but I've already kind of started to organize what that's gonna look like, and we'll see how that goes. But the most important thing I do on this entire trip is spend as much time as I can without stressing so I can have a great trip with my wife. Shout out to Trevor. I already heard that he got the backup truck running, so that should act as a pretty good backup for Keegan in case something happens. And then I also heard that we have the contractors working on the steps to the triplex, which desperately need to be done. Another contractor finishing up the drywall in the triplex, so that project's getting wrapped up pretty quick too. So my goal today is to enjoy as much as my first day here as possible without having to worry anything about work. And then on Monday, we'll check in with the business, see how things are going, and leave it to Keegan to keep it going.
Living his best life.
Aloha, everybody. I am down by the pavilion right now because we are in a pretty small condo. We're just there to sleep, but I want to take that time to make sure Keegan's doing all right, maybe even get some other work done. That way I'm still on top of stuff without actually kind of really bothering the vacation itself. Any blue collar business gets to a point where they need certain softwares to run the business. If you're a welder, if you're a lawn care guy, if you're a power washing guy, all I can tell you is the best thing you can do in a blue collar industry to separate yourself from other competitors in your area is to have some kind of online software that people can book on and or manage your entire operation. And obviously my solution for the dumpster industry is Docket. But if you're in any other industry, I truly suggest you find something similar because it is a game changer to separate yourself from your competition. The cool thing is I can see that Keegan already is going. I got this notification from Docket this morning. I'm going to try to show you kind of what he's doing today without actually showing you a whole lot of customer information, but at the same time I'm going to show you his point of view running the business on his own. Let's just see what he's up to.
So Clayton's gone for the week, which means I'll be running the show.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm!
So let's just go ahead and take a look at what the schedule has for us today. And it looks like we're pretty busy. Got a couple drop-offs and a bunch of pickups. And it looks like up here we had a dumpster bag pickup. So we're just going to go ahead and start with the first one. Got to go pick up a 20-yard.
The one thing I like about Docket the most is the flexibility of the notification settings. So when Keegan right now clicks on our way, so it'll give him a task, 20-yard drop off. He hits on our way, it'll actually tell the customer he's on his way. I can even set it so I can see when that happens, or I can kind of just check in periodically throughout the day to see what has been done. It's just really nice because in the past I used to actually have to send those text messages or phone calls separately, but in the end Keegan's basically doing it every time he hits something, keeps the customer up to date, and it also keeps me in the loop as the owner of the company.
So we went ahead and dropped that first 20-yard off out here in Payson. We can go ahead and just click drop off, type in the dumpster's identification. Easy as that. Click drop, complete. And then now we are on to get this 14 yards, so we're going to head back to Quincy and get that.
So it looks like Keegan already got one drop off taken care of, and then he's headed back now. One of the bummers about today is this is kind of a zoomed in version of what we've got going on, but his plate is full today because he's going in multiple directions and he's by himself. So I kind of loaded his plate, and then I just said, whatever you get done, and then we'll just push into the next day. As long as the drop offs get taken care of, we can always empty a day later. So that's kind of his focus today. Where I live, there's a large population of night workers because of the manufacturing industry. So I will wake up quite often to different emails and or online bookings. So it's really important to have an online presence. So the cool thing is we just scheduled a 14-yard drop off. You can see that. And then from there, I can see, wow, I'm running out of dumpsters quick. And I can choose my pickup, which is really convenient. So it'll simultaneously plan the pickup time, which will be 3 days later. And that way we're seamlessly creating multiple tasks. Sun's starting to come up. I know we got a full day, so I need to kind of get my butt moving. One of the nice things about having Docket is it is portable, so I can take my tablet, I can take my phone, and if I get any phone calls, I can book dumpsters from my phone or my tablet while I'm out here enjoying the weather. While I'm out and about today, I'll check in on Keegan and we'll make sure that he's running smooth. But we're gonna do our best to enjoy this vacation.
Been a busy day, but we're going ahead and getting onto the second dumpster. Looks like it's full of shingles. So this one's gonna probably be a heavy one. Put this baby in neutral and let her roll up.
This is really nice.
.23 and we are done for the day. Back at the old outpost. Well, what do we have here? The old service core, huh? I bet Clayton's really wishing he had this for his little trip to Hawaii. Full day, but we got it all done. Time to go home, and we'll see what tomorrow has in store for us.
Another day in paradise, honestly. Slept in a little bit today, but we can get a little bit of work done still.
All right, so for y'all that don't know, Service Corps is actually the owner of Docket, which is the software that me and Clayton use on a day-to-day basis. They actually sent him this shirt hoping it would reach him in time before his trip in Hawaii, but sucks for Clayton. I got my hands on it, and I'm probably going to be wearing it this week for work. You know, give myself a little Hawaiian vibe myself. I like this. Looks pretty good. It's a bit snug for my liking. Probably need an L. Clayton wears a size M. But other than that, yeah, pretty good.
It's time to get this show on the road, you know, since I'm the boss around here now.
So I already checked the map, and it looked like Keegan was making his way to the landfill already, and it kind of cracked me up. I had my Docket app open, which shows me out here in the middle of the ocean. While everybody else is still sleeping, I'm actually taking all the receipts that I had in my wallet, and actually from the center console of my truck, I grabbed those before I left, and I'm actually going to input those into Docket because I use it for most of my bookkeeping now. I obviously have separate bookkeeping for stuff like my apartment buildings, but Docket's been awesome for actually keeping track of all of my expenses in the business. By keeping the majority of my dumpster business stuff in Docket, it gives me a really good idea, kind of at my fingertips, what the ROI looks like this month or year over year, what it's going to look like. So I love having it all in here. I could put this stuff in instantly, but it's easier for me to find, about an hour once a month that I can actually toss all the tickets in at once. My favorite, though, is landfill fees. In the past, I would actually input those separately at the end of the month. But the cool thing is, as Keegan and I are both going to the landfill, we take pictures of our dump receipts, and it's categorized to the person immediately that the dumpster was rented under. From there, Docket actually files that ticket under that customer's name, which is even cooler because at that point, Docket knows whether or not that customer owes you more money, especially if they went over your tonnage limit, which is a pretty important thing. Or if they kept the dumpster a couple days, it'll flag the ticket and say, hey, this person had the dumpster 3 days longer than you said. Do you want to charge them more? And then within literally 2 clicks, you can send an invoice to that person for those types of things. And since we do keep cards on file after they're booked online, the cool thing is if it does go over the original days that the rental agreement was for, or if it comes out heavier than that, 1 ton limit that we have, we just click another button and we charge the card. So it's just a really good way to make sure we're always securing payment. This is what I've always wanted. This is the freedom that I kind of expected the business to turn into one day, but it didn't used to be this nice. Having a good driver like Keegan has been essential for my business, but also making both of our lives easier by having an online booking software and a management software has just been a game changer. This was not a reality before. I always had to be on top of everything. I had to be working. I had to take care of a lot of stuff, but this both gives, Keegan and I a lot of freedom, but also a lot of communication. And yeah, this feels more like a business than, just some side gig now. At the end of the day, though, the whole point of this vacation was for me to disconnect from work as much as I could. So from here, what I'll probably do is the next few days, I'll check in on Keegan every morning, but I'll kind of let the business run itself. And I'm just going to do my best to enjoy this trip. When I return to the mainland, I'll officially be 30 years old now. There are a lot of things I wish I had achieved by 30. I'll still work on them, but I'm pretty happy where I am in life now. You truly sometimes have to step back and look and see what you've achieved and be grateful for your achievements rather than focusing on what you haven't achieved and what you don't have. Otherwise, you'll honestly always be miserable. If you're a blue collar owner, operator, or business owner, one of the biggest suggestions I can make to you is to find a way to just make your life easier in all the places possible. And one of those things is the digital management space. Separate yourself from the competition. Blue collar guys are kind of known for doing the same thing for so long. They're kind of stuck in their ways. Break that mold and it'll help you beat your competition truly. Streamline your service offerings. Make it easy for the customer in the 21st century to be able to book online or, ask you for your service, get in contact with you, and provide them a seamless customer experience. Whether you're in the mowing industry, bricklaying, power washing, whatever it is, make the customer experience as easy as possible while also making your life easy to manage it. If you're in the dumpster rental space or the junk removal space, I highly suggest Docket, obviously. But it's something to truly look into if you want to separate yourself from the competition. Check the description below. You can find a link to actually book a demo with Docket for free, no obligation, just to see what they have to offer, see if it works for you if you're in the same space. But this is for everybody that's a blue collar guy. Take the time to enjoy certain things in life. Spend the time with your family. That's the most important thing you can do. And don't overwork yourself. At the end of the day, the only people that ever remember how much you worked were your kids.